My goal is 6 pounds over the next about 11 weeks. So 12-week cycle. Change things up from kind of where I was. So for the last 7-8 weeks, I've been following a 2-on 1-off split. So 2-on 1-off, 2-on 1-off, 2-on 1-off, just repeating an asynchronous split. And on a push-pull split, so no leg specific days, just push-pull. Quads on my push day, hamstrings, calves, posterior chain on my pull day. I've had 2 pretty weak pull workouts in a row. Even though I'm in a caloric surplus, I'm trying to gain weight, trying to gain muscle where I should be feeling better in my workouts. Those pull workouts have not been going well. My push workouts have been great. So my push workouts are coming after an off day. So I've gotten a day of rest, a day of recovery, and I'm having really good workouts on those. And then coming back the following day without a day of rest, and my pull workouts are not good. I'm not super motivated for them. I'm not getting very good pumps. I'm just not getting much out of them. So 1 workout like that is okay. 2 workouts, I decided it was time to switch things up a little bit. I've moved back into probably my favorite split, which is an upper lower. Brought myself down to usually 3 to 4 exercises per workout instead of, I was doing 4 or 5, maybe even 6 exercises per workout. So I brought the number of exercises down, and I'm going to be following a 1 day on, 1 day off schedule, which I typically really like. So train a day, the next day, get a good night's sleep, good day of rest, and then come back the following day and hit hard again. I've kind of noticed after I've gotten into my 40s that I recover really well from that. I've also got a lot of other commitments, right? Giving myself that extra day of rest, I'm hoping is going to help me feel more productive in the gym, get better workouts in there, and then gain better that way. So I kind of debated deleting out all the workouts that I've put on because I was only about a week into it when I started filming this series, but decided against that. I'm just going to keep things going, and I just kind of want to show you how I'm making an adjustment because my body is telling me that I need to make that adjustment. So I did not film my workout yesterday, which was my upper body workout, but I had a great upper body workout. I decided to lower the volume dramatically. So I did 2 sets of a close grip bench press. I guess I should say a narrow grip bench press, not really close, just outside of chest. So I'm still getting a lot of chest, but incorporating a little more tricep since I'm not doing a ton of triceps isolated exercises now on this split. I wanted to make sure that I was getting something that involved my triceps a little bit more than a wider bench press, which is going to really focus a lot more on chest. I did 2 sets of that. I did 2 sets of pull-ups. I switched my grip, so I'm using a supinated grip, more of a chin up. I did 2 sets of a seated dumbbell shoulder press, and I did 2 sets of a barbell curls. Lower the volume, only 2 sets, so kind of resensitize my muscles to the training stimulus. And because I wasn't having good workouts, not quite a deload, because I still took those sets hard. I hit my rep and reserve targets, but brought the volume way down, and hoping that I'll increase the volume as I go and bring things up. Today is going to be a lower body workout. I'm going to start with Smith machine brace dumbbell RDLs, 2 sets. I might even do 1 set. We'll see where we go. So again, bring the volume way down. I'll do 2 sets of leg press, back to the Smith machine for 2 sets of front foot elevated split squats on here to get a really good focus on the glutes for this one. And then, and I'll hit a sissy squat, 1 set of sissy squats after my leg presses. My quads will get 3 sets where chest got 2 sets, back got 2 sets, biceps got 2 sets, hamstrings are going to be probably 2 sets. Quads are going to get that extra 1 set to failure on the sissy squats. And then I'll come into a glute focused Smith machine lunge, sissy squat. All right. split squat. So, and then I'll throw some calves in on the end. If you want your calves to grow, hit them first. People complain about their calves not growing, and you ask, okay, so how are you hitting them? Well, I hit them last. Sometimes don't hit them because you're tired from the workout. Not putting a whole lot of intensity into them. But next week when I move in and I increase the volume, I might move my calves to first, but I'm going to put them on the back end tonight. So that's kind of where I am with everything here. Some people would say that doing it one day on, one day off is not the most ideal because I'm just not going to have the same amount of volume per week. And I'm not going to be hitting the muscles as frequently as what might be considered ideal. I'll still hit each muscle group at least twice a week. So by going one day on, one day off, I should hit each muscle group should get hit twice every week, 3 times on some weeks. But what I have found is that as I've gotten older, that extra day of rest helps me come back and have better workouts. I feel better when I'm in the gym, better pumps, and I can sustain that for a much longer period of time than training 2 days in a row. 2 days in a row really kind of wears me down, and I start to notice that it's not working. Over the summertime, it worked really well for the last, I think, 7 or 8 weeks on this mesocycle, but my body's just telling me that it's time to switch in. So if you are struggling with motivation in the gym, if you're struggling with your pumps, if you're struggling with gaining, if you're struggling with losing, whatever it is you're trying to do, especially if you're like me, you're over 40, and if you've got some of the other constraints, if you've got a family, if you don't get to train at the most ideal times, it's 9 o'clock right now, everybody's asleep, so this is when I'm finally hitting my workout. This could be something training on an every other day split. And I don't do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then come back the next week. I do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. So an asynchronous split, but I'm just every other day I hit the gym and then upper, lower, upper, lower, upper, lower. So that could be something to give a shot. I really like that schedule, and I tend to get really good gains out of it. And I'm willing to lower the volume just slightly in order to come in and have better workouts, to feel better in the gym, to enjoy coming into the gym. So this is what I'm doing. Give it a shot if that'll work for you. So into our workout. Let's get started. Ended up doing 2 sets of the Smith machine braced RDLs. 2 sets of those. That felt great. Best my hamstrings have felt in a couple weeks. I did the second set because I felt good. So you saw the first set of that one. This was the second set of leg press. That was still probably had 2 or 3 left in the tank. So reps in reserve, 2, maybe 3. But felt really good. And this week is not about pushing super intense, even on that second set all the way to failure, but getting close in my reps in reserve range. When you're starting a new mesocycle, whether you're in the middle of a gain phase, whether you're in the middle of a weight loss phase, maintenance phase, whatever you're in, doesn't matter. That first one, I like to keep the volume a little bit lower, and I don't want to push the reps in reserve too high too fast. So I still want to be within 3 reps in reserve all the time. So for me, that usually means the weight visibly slows down on the concentric phase. On this, with the leg press, once I start to notice the rep definitely goes up slower than what the rest have, that lets me know that I'm approaching where I want to be. So if I'm first one in and I'm looking for like a 3 reps in reserve, I'll do 1, maybe 2 reps after that. And that tends to put me kind of where I want to be. And then from there, it all depends. But that was where I was at today. I had a couple reps that slowed down. You'll also notice something that I do a lot. I always take my eccentrics. I always take the lowering phase slow anyway. Not super slow, but slow, controlled. But as the movement gets harder, if I'm doing a set of, say, 10, by the time I hit rep probably 6, I start to slow down even more on the eccentrics. When I get in the middle of that set and it really starts to pump up, I start to really kind of dig in on that eccentric phase. I've just done that naturally for a long time. I really like that. And so you'll notice, like, as I am approaching where my failure point is, that eccentric, the lowering phase will start to get slower and slower and slower. And then if I'm on a week where I'm pushing to 1 or 0 reps in reserve, that very last eccentric will all of a sudden speed up because I'm getting close to failure and struggling to really slow the weight down at that point. So those are fun. I haven't done those in a long time. I've only had my Smith machine for maybe a month. Love it. It's been a great tool, especially in a garage gym where I don't really have very many machines, especially cyclerized machines or even plate loaded. I don't have chest presses. I don't have rowing machines. I don't have a lot of things. I've got a lot of barbells, dumbbells. I've got a leg press. I've got a belt squat. I've got a quad extension, a hamstring curl. So I've got a few things, but it's kind of allowed me to give myself a little bit more of a machine type feel. So instead of doing a barbell lunge or a dumbbell lunge, I can do that where I can really, really focus on that eccentric phase. I don't have to worry about balancing the weight. I don't have to really worry too much. Once my feet are set, I'm good to go. And I can just push against the weight. So that felt really good. I'm only going to do 1 set today. So 1 set on each leg. I will be probably ridiculously sore from that tomorrow because I haven't done that in a long time. That was great. It kind of kept the quad pump going. And man, I felt that in my hips and glutes. So that was great. I loved that. I used a 35-pound bumper plate, which was a pretty good height. I like that. So if your gym's got a Smith machine, give this one a try. That was good. That's it. I'm going to jump into calves. We'll hit a couple sets of calves and we're done for tonight. So that's it. Just 2 sets of calves. I stayed with a Smith machine standing calf raise. Another thing I used the Smith machine for. It's kind of nice because the weights were already, some of the weight was already loaded on from the split squat. I just put on a little bit more weight to do calves and I went. This little guy here, I think I got this from, I think it's from Iron Mine. It's a calf raise. I'll link it down in the description, just what it is. It's, I don't know, I think it was like $80. So it's relatively expensive for what it is, but it's great. I use it for all kinds of stuff. I use it for a lot of my calf work. I use it for other things. Rehabbing my knees a little bit. They were bothering me for a little while. So I would do a Polican squat off of them, standing on it. It was great. It's a good height. I've had it for a couple years now. It's really solid. It stood up. I like it. I use it a lot. And it allows me to get calves in when I'm at home. That's tonight. Like I said, pretty low volume. So 3 total sets of quads, 2 sets of hamstrings, 1 set of glutes with the split squats, 2 sets of calves. Felt really good. And I'll rest. I'll recover tomorrow. And then we'll come back with upper body workout 2 on, what is it, Wednesday? So on Friday night. So I'll see you guys Friday.